What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, a podcast all about everything PC gaming related. I'm one of your hosts, Germ Gaming, and tonight I'm joined by James.
What's up?
Dave, the not-so-evil Evil Viking 13.
Hey, guys.
And Joel.
What's up, you bunch of hobos?
Alright. And how is everyone doing this evening? Let's talk about our feelings right up here at the top.
For all those non-live listeners, respond.
What?
Into the past.
Oh. No, I mean you guys. I don't care about not people watching live.
Yeah,
he
was like, he was not talking to the viewers.
How are you guys
we
doing?
don't have feelings. Why don't you bring that up?
In that case, I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Okay, alright. Anyone else have anything they want to share in the sharing circle, or no?
Joel, what did you do tonight?
I have pictures ready to share.
I went to a tea party tonight. My brother is getting married this week. He's getting married Saturday, and tonight was his soon-to-be wife, fiance, wanted to have a tea party. So my mom, I mean, she will summon the devil for you if you ask her.
That sounds like a very bad tea party.
No, wow. She will do absolutely anything for you.
And summon the devil. When you think of she'll do anything for you, you're like
that's right where you went. Is summon the devil.
Okay. You've never been to a tea party like this. I mean, ever.
I have never been to a tea party.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, anyways, the theme was a Mad Hatter tea party, right? Mm-hmm. And you would think just think. Whatever you'd think is maybe a Mad Hatter tea party, just like basic decorating. I mean, my mom goes all out. Like, she really could be working at Disney in the high-level party stuff. Like, she just goes freaking all out. But I get there, and I'm walking in, and the front window, like where the, what do you call them, mannequins? Yeah, where the mannequins standing, right? Because the story is that the area we had the party in was a store that's closing, and so she got it for the evening. Anyways, in the window, there's someone in a full bunny suit waving at people through the window with a big clock and stuff on it, like the what is, I don't know what they have, the bunny rabbit in
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, the
Mad Hatter?
The bunnies.
The Mad Hatter, yeah.
Is it that's the Mad Hatter?
Yeah.
No. The Mad Hatter's the crazy guy.
That's the Cheshire.
At the tea party.
Well, the Mad Hatter is at the tea party.
Yeah, but I don't think
this is another rabbit.
I don't think that's whatever.
All right.
Anyways, copyright violating rabbit.
Okay, what the heck? Then we walk in. It was insane, and yeah, there was just like costumes galore, partying, music. It was just kind of nuts.
Would you like to see some pictures?
Oh yeah, I want to see the photos I sent you.
All right, I'm throwing it up. I'm fitting it to screen, going right there in the middle of the screen. Joel, you probably can't see it yet, but it's the. Let's talk about the bunny. It's the bunny.
Okay, yeah, it's the bunny. Yeah, it was kind of nuts because she came inside and was like dancing around with everyone, and she was like getting so sweaty hot in it, and you could just see she's like.
So this is like someone your mother hired to dress up like.
Yes.
How did they explain?
I hope she was hired and not just wanted to do that.
But I don't think anyone did.
Okay, and my mom, she was kind of nuts tonight because she was like, she's on this high of like, my son's getting married, and like she will do anything for anyone, but like she was really dead tired, but in that kind of crazy zone where like anything's funny. Mm-hmm. It was like, I think I need to slip something to my mom's drink just to like go to sleep, Mom. Just go to sleep. Rest for she's doing a party tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening, Friday evening, and the wedding.
Why are there so many parties? What type of weird Polish cultural things are going on here?
That's our family. Help me, guys.
He's getting married on Saturday. We need an entire lifetime of parties between now and Saturday.
All right, and here's the second picture.
Time.
For the record, you did say something about slipping something in your mom's drink. That's a little weird. I didn't know we were quite going with that.
No, it's for her own good.
Okay, Joel, and the second picture is of you in your SpongeBob costume.
Yeah, what's up with that?
My mom was like, Joel, I got this just for you. So I'm gonna wear it. And I did. So I just wore it and kind of danced around.
Like it
I was
too.
freaking SpongeBob, so why not?
Why not?
I couldn't see Joel's face at first. It was just arms and SpongeBob. It was really weird looking.
Wow. So it was a crazy night.
We have a new.
Did you put it up on the the feed?
I did, and
Maybe
now
I'm
it's
behind.
gone. We have a new Patreon subscriber, as always. You guys, or Patreon supporter. You can always support us on Patreon. It pays for things like the super swanky mics we're now using. It'll be paying for all of the coke it takes to get Joel to show up on a weekly basis and to finish his movie in style. But you can donate to us through Patreon, and there's always a link on the video of these podcasts. There's a link you can click on. But we have a new Patreon supporter, and as always, Joel is now going to read your name in a funny voice.
Let's see. Tonight, I want to attach your name to Oscar Isaac, because he's in freaking Star Wars. So you're connected to Star Wars, the best thing in the whole world. Thank you, Oscar, for supporting us. You keep us alive, man.
Who's Oscar Isaac?
You don't know? Oh, he's a really, really good actor.
I might recognize him. I'll Google him.
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah, I don't know what character he's going to be. A lot of people think he's going to be someone bad. But
how can I get Star Wars to this?
Yeah. I think he's going to be pretty badass for Star Wars.
All right.
So...
Well, tonight we start the podcast.
Thank you for pledging $400 every month.
No, actually,
because we can manually change
Oscar's
it.
a little bit of a dick. He donated just enough to bring our total to $99.99.
Yeah.
The $100 level is where we're supposed to start buying better mics. Joke's on you. We bought him anyway.
It was needed.
Yeah. All right. It is now time to start the podcast, as we always do, with the main topic. Now we haven't done main topics in a little while because we keep getting hung up on news and we keep running out of time because the podcast will hit 2 hours and we're still on news item number 4 and we're arguing about something. So
unrelated to the news.
Exactly. We have lots of things we want to talk about with main topics, so we've just been skipping over. So tonight we're going to be talking about staying power in games. So some games come and go, you enjoy them, they come out, everyone's like, this is amazing, and then 2 months later no one's playing them. And then some games you play for years and years and years and years and years, and it doesn't mean that they're 500 times more enjoyable than the first game. It just, for whatever reason, you're playing them. So I want to talk about, why do you think this is? What does it take to make people play your game for the next 10 years, 5 years, 2 years? What does it take to get your people to play your game for an entire year without moving on to something else as their main game? What does that take? And just to start the conversation off, I'm going to talk about Titanfall.
Ooh, I knew that was coming.
Well, when the beta for Titanfall came out this year, wouldn't you guys all agree it was some of the most fun you've had playing a multiplayer shooter in years? I mean, the pure gameplay of Titanfall is crazy fun. Okay, how many of you have played Titanfall over an hour in the past month? Exactly. So
it's been on sale, and I've been I don't know.
It was $10 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, get it for 10, James. We'll all play again just so you can experience what you missed out on.
Or just borrow Joel's Origin account.
Yeah, say that as as a horrible thing. Just abuse Joel. No, more I'm loving.
No,
I give you guys.
I was saying
Joel,
Joel's a nice guy.
I'm free with my games. I'm free with my body.
I meant it as Joel is a nice guy and will let you use his account. But whatever. Make it about sexual assault as normal.
People actually enjoy your games.
So yeah, what was the deal? Let's start out with Titanfall.
I can give you one reason kind of why I haven't played it lately.
Okay.
And you guys are probably gonna hate me for this.
I can never hate you. I can never hate you, Joel.
Okay, but honestly, you know how I enjoy convenience. I like
preparing hate.
No. I'm saying, okay, I like to be able to, if I want to do something, I like to be able to just click a button and I want to jump right into it. Right. But okay, when my computer's on, and it's rendering, doing something like that, it's nice because I'm I'll just jump on the computer, jump in a game, right? But when my computer's off, because I don't leave it on, I keep it off, it's kind of do I want to go upstairs in the office? Especially if you guys are not playing, if you're not playing online, right? Do I want to jump in? And I just don't, and that's actually one of the barriers of playing something.
Okay, but Joel,
I feel like playing for 30 minutes, but I'm I don't know.
The way you say those,
I probably would play
the way you say those reasons sound stupid. I'd have to walk upstairs, which is where your bedroom is. It's not like you don't go upstairs on a regular basis.
No, but I mean,
walk upstairs, turn my computer on. The computer that you're on editing Norman, but it wouldn't be on otherwise.
Here's the thing. It's very different for multiplayer games, right?
Right.
If you guys are not playing the multiplayer game, like I generally don't use my PC for like multiplayer games. Like I don't really buy a lot of single player games on my PC because I have, you know, if you guys aren't gonna play with me, I might as well just play on my PS4 downstairs. I'm comfortable. You know, I switch between Netflix and all that stuff really quick. It's all set up, right?
But
you know,
can you show everyone the chair that you sit on, because you always seem so uncomfortable when you play
Joel, I can
computer
watch
games.
Netflix on another monitor while I game on my PC.
It's a comfortable chair. It's a comfortable
How's
chair.
that for
but
fast switching?
wait, what do you
Say
like?
it again,
I said,
Jeremiah.
I can watch Netflix on a second monitor while I game on my PC, so I don't want to hear about your fast switching.
I could do that too. I could just bring my laptop down.
No, but you got to bring your laptop downstairs.
Speaking of convenience,
Dude, you have enough screen space to have Netflix over here, game over here, another movie over here, and then just like whatever.
That's,
I don't think we need the news to fight.
We don't. We could actually, we don't have a section of the podcast. It's just Joel and Jeremiah fight about anything. Like we have a random grab bag. Dandelions. Screw you. Team Yellow.
awesome.
No, but like honestly, if you think about it, how many times have you ever stopped or not like jumping into it because it is a little bit it's the same here with TV shows for me, all right? Like I've really been just enjoying the crap out of Sons of Anarchy, but I'll tell you exactly why. Not only because it's a really good show, but because every episode ends with a really good cliffhanger that forces you to watch the next one. Most shows don't do that for me. There's a ton of really good shows, but they don't have this ending where I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta see what's next. It's like, that was a great episode, and I'm ready to move on and do something. Because I usually, most of the time, I'd rather play a game than spend 3 hours watching a TV show. Like, that's just what I enjoy doing. But when it's like Sons of Anarchy, I freaking watch 6 in a row. Like, I never did it for any show, you know? So with Titanfall or some of the games like that, every once, like, if I'm like, I'm kind of in the mood to just, I don't know, play a shooter game for a little bit, you know? And I had that for Battlefield for a while. But the reason why I don't play is because you jump in, you get into a server, you find out this server's not actually Team Deathmatch that they said it was going to be on the server list. It's something completely different. I'm like, okay, find another server. I finally find a good one halfway into the match. You find out everyone's just screwing around, flying around, and doing like videos or something. Like no one's playing. So I'm like, okay, there goes my 30 minutes. I'm not in the mood anymore. And after a few of those, I didn't want to play it. So I just bought Modern Warfare. I love it. I enjoy those
Advanced
campaigns.
Warfare?
Advanced Warfare.
You're old Joel.
Get into the game. Wait, that's EA. I bought that. I enjoy those campaigns every year because they're just fun. I'm like, I know you guys are not really going to play it with me, but it's a game like when everyone else is not doing something, like that's what I go to, you know? Right. But I enjoy the Call of Duty multiplayer because I can play a little bit by myself, jump in, I'm out, done. You know, like I get my fix for it, you know? But I kind of wish I had Titanfall on the PS4 or whatever Xbox, or you know, if I had it on the Xbox, just because I'm gonna be probably downstairs more often. I'm like, I'll jump into it. If you guys are on, I generally jump up here, and if you guys are playing, we're probably gonna play DayZ or ARMA. So it's like, if I'm gonna be on the computer playing games, it's probably gonna be playing with you guys or you know doing some co-op game or something. So I don't know. And Titanfall doesn't usually come up. So because Dave doesn't really have the appetite to play longer than like 2 matches.
Well, I think for me the thing with Titanfall was like super amazing fun gameplay. Like they nailed the gameplay until all the matchmaking broke, and you would spend 10 minutes waiting to get into a match. You'd get in a match with like a bunch of super high level people, and like you could see as soon as the lobby started filling up, you're like, well, we are 100% guaranteed losing this round, and you would lose like a bunch of matches in a row because the matchmaking doesn't work. And then after that, I was like, well, that's just not fun. Like, I don't want to sit for 10 minutes in between matches. Like, if I have to tab out and just browse the internet for a couple minutes in between matches because the game won't work, like, after a while of doing that, I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather do pretty much anything else. Like, I associate playing this game as just an exercise in aggravation. And that's kind of why I'm over DayZ right now. Like, when the big 0.5 patch comes out, I'll check it out again. Like, there are many things that are exciting.
Yeah, it came out already.
Okay. Was that why Steam was, like, crushed to death for the 5 minutes before the podcast?
Right, yeah, it came out today.
It was downloading something pretty fast. But DayZ is both of those things. Like, it's a game that we play for years and years and years, even though, like, there's not that much to do. If you know, like in a typical game sense, it's not like there's a 30-hour story or something. Like, there's not much to do in DayZ, and I've played 1,000 hours. I don't know, 600 hours, enough hours. But there are some.
I think it's also a game that has, you know, just the ability to do a lot of different, or not a lot of different things, but you know, allows us to kind of have more shenanigans and have talking time. You know, like a lot of games like. And I think, you know, if Far Cry 4 like supported 4 players or 5 players, that would be, I think we would play that a lot because exploring, you kind of, I don't know, you have time to like play with it. But yeah, like Titanfall, it's like you get your fix, and then it is like a TV show where it's like the match is over. I'm like, all right, I'm kind of done. I won or I lost. Where I'm like, let's move on to something different. Where those games, it takes a while to get into it. I mean, DayZ takes a very, very long time to get into it, and then you have some fun, and then it has, then it drops again. But it's like the amount of time you have to jump into it, and it supports a lot of people too.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Titanfall was the same way. I actually tried it last night for about 15 minutes. It's had like 4 patches since I last played, and matchmaking is still broken. I joined a game where we were down 1 player. I'm like, I haven't played in 4 months, and there were like a bunch of level 15, 20, 25s. Everyone on the opposite team is like Gen 10. Like they ranked up all ranks, all 50 ranks 10 times, and I lost 3 matches in a row in about 12 or 13 minutes and said, I'm done. Like, also it was micro stuttering for some reason. Like every 15 seconds the frame rate would stutter like regularly in this latest patch for me. So I think matchmaking is what put the nail in the coffin, though. I loved that game for so long.
So the gameplay is good, but the one serious flaw that aggravates your playing experience is enough for you to not want to fight through it.
It's that nightly first impression.
Dave, though, why are you fussing about the matchmaking when Battlefield has no matchmaking?
Because if the matchmaking's bad, it's my own fault for picking a bad server and not
in
finding a
Battlefield
better
you can pick a different server. In Titanfall, you just have to let them pick it for you. In Battlefield,
do you always play on like easy servers then? I mean, like, I jump into Destiny and I'm like really low level and they're high level. I have no problem with it. There's no difference.
I don't know.
Those are entirely different games, though, Joel.
I know that, but I'm like, do you jump into like, do you like find easier server? Like, is it that? Because I jump into Titanfall, I have no problem with like playing its super high level, like triple, whatever, starred, whatever people. I'm usually like 2nd or 3rd every single time.
Right.
Like when I play.
Were you asking about Battlefield or Titanfall?
No, Titanfall. But I'm saying like, but with Battlefield, do you search for easier servers?
No, how would I search for an easier server? I'm saying
because it's not you're not going to find that much of a different crowd between that and Titanfall. Like,
no, you do. And another thing that I can see, one thing I love about the server browser being outside of the game in Battlefield is before I join a server, I can click on it and I can see, okay, is there 1,000 ticket difference in this Conquest game? Because if there is, I'm not going to join the losing team to lose the last 100 tickets. I can spend 2 minutes looking for a server that looks balanced and then jump in, load about 2 minutes, and then actually be in the game and have a balanced game versus Titanfall where I roll the die and I'm put in a lobby where I just hope that everyone's going to stick around and work together and that the ranks are going to be balanced. Battlefield, I can scope it out first. And in Battlefield, team balance is a lot more important than rank, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I guess so, but I'm like, Battlefield is horrible for team balancing. It's like the worst.
Well, the teams are like never balanced because the community's gone to...
It's terrible.
Well, because the community went to crap because the game was so broken.
And they all switch like constantly throughout the game. Right, so I think that's the worst unfair thing ever.
That game has died a very painful, extended death because the game was so broken when it came out. The reason people left Battlefield in droves was because the game was so broken. It was just a super flawed experience and people didn't want to stick around for it. So now most of these complaints we have, though, could be said about DayZ. DayZ, you can get horrible servers and you don't know till you've played on them for a few minutes. And you can meet, the community can be dicks at times. And you can have tons of technical issues.
We can be dicks at times.
Well, you can have tons of technical issues that make playing the game not fun. Why do we keep playing DayZ? What's the difference? I've heard Joel's opinion. I've heard Joel's opinion. So Dave and James, what do you think?
So this is my opinion, just real simple. With Titanfall, I have 10 other good multiplayer games installed right now that I can pick from. If I had 12 crappy minutes in Titanfall where the teams weren't balanced, I can say, fine, I'll play Battlefield instead and find a better server. I have no alternatives to DayZ right now. So,
well, with something like Titanfall, you pretty much thrown in a match. You don't get to choose how you play the game.
Yeah,
I mean, you can go in and suck, but you can't go in and like try to build, a campfire. You can't, you try and make friends with people on the server.
I'd love to see you try to do that in Titanfall if you're like trying to lose
using part chat. Hey, would anyone like to be friends? Die, scrub.
Hey, I'm friendly. Don't kill me.
Stopped.
You get to dictate your experience on DayZ, even if you do deal with a bunch of dicks. I mean. It still could be hours. It could be multiple playthroughs before you run into those people. Yeah. I mean, you have to. In some case, you can put yourself in the situations to always run into them, but you choose your experience. It's ever changing. I mean, ever changing because you don't know what glitch is gonna greet you that night.
You can't even count on the game mechanics being the same. It's like, is this week the week where the hotbar works, or is this the week?
Rolling that dice.
I remember, Dave, once you were like, you almost sounded fed up with us. You're like, guys, you can't use the hotbar. You have to open up your inventory and drag it into your hands. You're like, why don't you know this?
That's because the hotbar has been worthless since the alpha
sometimes
launched.
Sometimes
I still
it
use
works.
the hotbar.
Sometimes it works really great.
I use the hotbar.
It works
Do you?
better. Yeah. I use the hotbar all the time.
Okay, here's the thing about the hotbar, and this is why I thought it was hilarious that you guys were still using it.
There's not just one thing about the hotbar, but go ahead.
No, this is why I was kind of rolling my eyes at you guys. It's because the main thing you use a hotbar for is for changing weapons, right? Which is a really important action. Why would you use a system that works sometimes to change a gun? Like, just use what works until
The
they
thing
fix
is,
it.
switching in the
I don't wanna
inventory
go in my
only
inv-
works sometimes.
Yeah.
No,
sometimes
moving to hands works 100% of the time.
But depending on server lag,
Yeah, but
it works 100% of the
no,
time
it doesn't.
in a range of 1 second to sometimes a minute.
The action of move to hands has always worked. There's maybe a second or two delay, even if the server is wrecked.
It doesn't always work, Dave. I've had numerous times where I've desperately been trying to drag something into my hands and it just doesn't because
But the command goes through. With the hotbar,
but still, in the
command
heat of
won't go
battle,
through.
I don't want to go to my menu and not see what I'm doing. I'd rather just press a button, wait 2 seconds while I still see, than wait 2 seconds. In inventory.
I'd rather spam.
You can still
the
maneuver
hotbar.
around
I'm
while
being
you're
more
pulling out a
tactical,
weapon.
I guess, with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, the hotbar frequently doesn't even like register a key press, and so I just don't rely on it. I don't.
Yeah,
use it
I jam the
at
button.
all.
I'm like, go, 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 and
And
sometimes
then you'll put
it'll
it back
work.
away. That's a terrible system.
Good job,
The
John.
hotbar in general is kind of a terrible system.
Yep.
Anyway. So yeah.
What about games like Age of Empires 2? That's the game I've probably played more than any other game, more than DayZ, more than anything else is Age of Empires 2. There's no story mode. There is no matchmaking. I mean, there's nothing. There's just the game mechanics, but it's so fun and it's so well balanced. And the game worked when it came out, which are all kind of rarities these days. That it's the core gameplay is still fun 13 years later. I still love playing Age of Empires like every single time I play.
It's a really solid game, I think, and it's a game that also the graphics don't really age. You know what I mean? Like there's certain types of graphics in games that just like it doesn't matter what the graphics are for the game. Like it's that style and it just works. You know what I mean?
I've never played Age of Empires, but I imagine with games like that,
What?
I have not.
Well, James was
That's
already
actually
like,
surprising.
James was
I'm
already
not-
like
I'm
out
not-
of college and working in the mines when Age of
Shut
Empires
your
came
mouth.
out.
I was actually around when they were doing the Empires.
James was actually out there mining
James-
stone.
I'm actually from the Age of Empires.
Not historically accurate.
I'm in the
not
credits.
interested.
No, but there's a formula that works. I mean, you look at a game like Solitaire, you look at a game like Yahtzee, those formulas just work no matter how many times you play it. You can still sit down and play a game of Solitaire, whether it's on your computer or, physical cards. It's just, there's something about that formula that just really works. And I think that's something that when a game hits that formula, that's when it gets that super staying power.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, but like let's say Call of Duty kind of hit the multiplayer magic formula back when Modern Warfare came out. But these days, pretty much as soon as the new one comes out, the servers start immediately dying for the old ones. And people move over. Like, you can play last year's version, but the one 2 years ago, good luck. I mean, it's going to be completely full of hackers and stuff. If their multiplayer is so good, like, why do you think people move on so quickly because there's a new version? Just because, hey, the new one's so good, let's move on?
Yeah.
I mean, with that kind of game, that's kind of the nature of it. It's like, I mean, you're not, the game is really good and successful. I guess we just won't make another game for 10 years.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Well, people moved on from
those
Battlefield 3,
games are all kind of
right?
similar. So what's that?
People moved on from Battlefield 3, right?
Yeah, I mean, because who doesn't want to try out the new?
And Battlefield 4 is, I think, would be universally agreed upon when it released was a far inferior game to Battlefield 3. So, but tons of people still moved on. And I haven't played Battlefield 3 recently, but you have, haven't you, Dave?
I played it actually on and off up until Punkbuster started kicking me from servers every 2 minutes.
But did the player count go down pretty drastically that you noticed?
The player count went down drastically, and then it went up drastically when EA gave it away for free. What was it, 4 or 5 months ago now?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened after that was tons of hackers and scripters and exploiters created Smurf accounts to hack with. Because it was free.
What are Smurf accounts?
Fake accounts.
Clones.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
they would just...
Joel wasn't allowed to watch the Smurfs when he was a kid.
A Smurf account is
I've never
like...
heard of a Smurf. Yeah,
Smurfing is usually when like you're like a high-ranked, say, CS:GO player, and you create a second Steam account so that you get in like low-ranked games to just own people.
Okay. So yeah, people used to do that. Like they would do that in like Halo 3 and Halo 4. Like you can kind of tell, like, oh no, these guys are amazing, but they're like, because what they would do is they would play a match and then they would disconnect right before the end so they wouldn't get ranked and stuff.
Yeah. Well, in the case of Battlefield 3, what's kind of put the nail in the coffin for Battlefield 3 is the giveaway. The community exploded for a few days. It was like, yes, fresh meat. Everyone's playing again and having a good time. And then the hackers with 10 different email addresses started joining the games, and it's just gone downhill since then.
Mm-hmm.
But so, as far as longevity goes, actually, I have kind of a two-part answer for me.
Okay.
For multiplayer games, I can play a multiplayer game for years if it's really, really good. I wanted to play Battlefield 2 for years, but my internet did not allow it. So when I got high speed in 2142, I played Battlefield 2142 for, gosh, like 4 years? 3 or 4 years.
That's a long time for a game like that.
Yeah,
Well, that's back when people actually...
Yeah.
Like, I was still playing Battlefield 2 in 2011, and there were tons of people still playing it.
Yeah. And the problem was, too, there wasn't a sequel. Like, 2142 came out in 2006, and the next PC Battlefield game was in 2010. There was a 4-year gap right there. And I went right to that one, actually.
So if you make a good game, you think people should just wait? Like, if you got a good one, don't put out another one. Don't roll the dice again.
I think 4 years is a bit long, because, I mean, the game was really aging. But I think 2142 is still the game, multiplayer-wise, that I have the most hours in, probably north of 800 hours over 4 years.
Ooh.
It was incredible. I love that game. And then near the end, like, the flaws were really, really noticeable. And then Bad Company 2 was like an amazing improvement. And that's actually why I've always had a Battlefield game installed, is because it just kind of scratches that itch perfectly for me. As long as the core game is solid, I can play it for years.
Right.
And the second part of my answer is, for single-player games, or less just straight multiplayer shooter games, I think the key for me is either sandbox content or modding or like some kind of just expansion outside of the developers.
Some way for the game to evolve.
Yeah, because over and over again, the communities around these games go nuts. I'm still playing Empire Total War from 2009, 5 years later, because of Darth Mod, which in 2011... fixed like 300 huge game-breaking bugs, glitches. It added tons of new features, new units. It added new AI routines, and just it improved everything. And this guy worked on it for like 2 years, and it not only made the game a new experience again, but it made it a polished experience. And so right when it was starting to get kind of stale, boom, it's revived. It's like an almost different game again. And then you have games like ARMA 3. You know, we're only a year and a half into ARMA 3, and I have been sucked into the editor like there's no tomorrow. I have right now, how many hours in ARMA 3? 348 hours, and that's going to be a lot higher by the end, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, how much of that is in the editor?
I mean, that counts for me.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, how much of that's actually playing and how much of that is having it tabbed out while you're reading how to make scripts online.
I bet it's a 1 to 3 ratio.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Over the past month, probably.
What's another good example? Man, I think really every single-player game, Fallout 3, I played through it again with tons of mods. New Vegas, I beat it through once and then added a bajillion texture mods, lighting mods, all kinds of stuff, went back and played it again and enjoyed it even more. For single-player games, as long as I can, pop the hood and change things, or more likely let other people do all the work for me and then just enjoy it, I can play games for years and really maybe even improve how much I'm enjoying them with time.
So what about Stalker?
Actually, that's a great example too, James. I'm playing through Lost Alpha right now. It'll be the 4th time I've played through the basic main storyline for the base game. And in this case, they've completely changed entire areas. There's new mechanics. There's vehicles now. It's almost like a new game, but still, it's still that same core storyline. And it's going to be the 4th time I've played through it. It was played through it once on vanilla, twice with 2 different total conversion mods, and now a 4th time in the Lost Alpha mod, which, like I said, is just barely maintaining the framework of the original storyline and changing probably 60% of the game around that main storyline. And that game came out in 2007. I'm going to beat it 4 times. That's pretty impressive. It's not a short game either. That's probably a good 30, 35 hours, if not more.
Mm-hmm. Debbie says in chat she's been playing Team Fortress ever since she got a computer, and then playing Team Fortress 2 ever since it came out 7 years ago, even when it came out free.
7 years ago.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. The content was still good, and there were enough servers that you could get away from the crazy people. And TF2 has so many different game modes or like special servers that are running some weirdest thing. Oh, she says the latest version is bumper cars. That's crazy. That, like, there's just all kinds of crazy stuff to do. Just like Minecraft. People love Minecraft because it's a platform more than a game. Same thing with ARMA. Like, whatever you want Minecraft to be for you, it can be for you. Like, there's some weird Minecraft stuff out there.
Yes, there is.
Like, Japan found Minecraft. But does anyone have anything else they want to add before we move on from our main topic?
I was gonna say, like, story I think is huge too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't that crazy? Half-Life 2 is 10 years old now.
Whew.
Like, came out in 2004. Like, it's 10 years old. You know, and so obviously, I mean, the last one that came out was 2007. So that's, what was that?
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. So that's
I
still
actually
such a
the
long
original
time.
in 2007.
Man, I mean, every year I'm like, come on, I want to wrap that storyline up, you know? And that's what, you know. But I think, you know, a game like that, it stuck with me because, I mean, it was, Half-Life 1 was really like the beginning of my real, you know, love of gaming. Like, I was introduced to by a friend of mine who had a computer. I never had a computer, but he had one that was awesome. He had like what was those, Voodoo video cards? I forget what they were by.
8 megabytes of graphics memory.
But so the game was sick. Half-Life 1 it blew my mind. But then I remember playing Half-Life 2 at midnight. I was with my good buddy, and we were just waiting for it to preload on 56K. And we got it. And it was
wait. It still had preloading back in 2004.
That was the first game.
Screw you, PS4. Get it working.
that was the first time that you got a preload, but it was crazy. But no, I mean, like, the story really stuck with me. Every single level in Half-Life 2 is just memorable. We played that game probably 10 times.
That's the same reason. Modern Warfare, the campaign. Chris and I, we were in college. Just in college, we probably played through the Modern Warfare campaign maybe 5 times because it's so memorable. And I've played every Call of Duty campaign since then, and they all have failed at capturing the magic of the original. Like, they hit gold, and then they moved on from it, and they've just never been able to get it back.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I really liked. I mean, I think 1 and 2 were awesome. Like, I think 1 and 2 were just amazing. Like, I loved the second game's campaign. It was badass. Like,
Half-Life 2?
No. Call of Duty.
Oh, Modern Warfare 2?
1 and 2 were incredible. I still enjoyed 3 a lot. Like, the ending, I think, was pretty amazing.
I mean, it was still good,
Modern
but
Warfare
it wasn't 1.
Really damn good. Like, it's really good. I'm really impressed
Advanced
with it.
Warfare?
Like, I mean, like, don't go expecting something completely crazy different. But, like, I mean, obviously the controls are just, you know, a work of art. They're just so good. The sound is all redone. It sounds incredible. And the graphics are flipping nuts. Like, some levels you're just like, this is unbelievable. Like, it really looks insane. Like, especially like stuff come up close, all like textures on weapons and things look incredible. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm really enjoying the story. It's really different, and it's great because they've connected with one single character this time. They're not kind of jumping around as much like you do, obviously, different missions. I play that game because, you know what, I'm going to be either jumping off of a skyscraper, blowing stuff out, you know, I'm going to do some crazy stuff, and that's why I really enjoy it every time. So I wish you guys enjoy that multiplayer because I'm good at it, and it's fun, but, you know, so get it on PS4 if you're going to play, because I want someone else to play multiplayer. I would love to. I think we would own if we had like 2 or 3 people on a team.
I'd love to. So. I just don't know when am I going to play.
Yeah,
I have a question about. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask Jeremiah why he was still so busy. It's November.
Do you want? I'll tell you if you want to know.
I just he was just giving you a hard time.
All right, James doesn't care. All right, James, what were you going to say?
For this topic, are we talking about games that stick around for years as they get new sequels, or games that just kind of stand the test of time?
I think for you personally, right?
Games that, I mean, I guess you'd say stand the test of time, but more of they stand the test of time that you still want to play them after a couple years. Yeah. Like, there are games you would say, this game is a major milestone in gaming, but that doesn't mean you've played it in the last 10 years.
Yeah. I think a couple of those games for me is Knights of the Old Republic. I played it originally on the original Xbox, and it obviously ran like crap back then. But I don't know, there's something about the, you know, the team dynamic and the story building and the, you know, loot and the ability to explore. It was one of my first like real open world RPGs, even though it's very controlled open world. I mean, you get into a world, you can go to different places and do tasks, but that was big for me. That's something I tried to get Joel. Joel, how long ago was it when I got you to play it? Like 3 years ago?
Sorry, which game?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, you tried to get me play it for quite a while. Like even back when I had that 360, because you could get like on demand or whatever. Like you could play original Xbox One on it. And I tried it. I borrowed it from my my wife's husband. And
what?
Sorry, son of a bitch. My sister's husband.
I was thinking, like, wait.
I tried to get it for myself.
He was so careful saying that, and I don't really understand what he means.
Sorry, my sister's husband, Chris.
Brother husbands.
Brother husbands. And it just didn't work on the 360. And then I tried it on Steam. I got pretty far, and like I booted it up once. It corrupted the save file, and I couldn't get back. And it was like I lost like 6 hours. And the starting starts really slow, and I just didn't get into it. I didn't like it. But James kept on saying, "Dude, get into it." So it came out on the Mac App Store, and they like fixed some problems with it. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I'd play it during lunch at work. And man, after I got past like honestly like the 6th hour mark where I started like, because I hate the controls where you like tell someone to do something, they just go whack and you do nothing, you just sit there and watch. Man, I got into it, and the story blew my mind. Like it was the best story I've ever played in any game.
And it's 11 years old. It's 11 years old.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll play it. One of these days.
The story beat me beyond Half-Life 2. Like Half-Life 2, right there,
Ooh,
so close.
That's
but
tempting.
Knights of the Old Republic really, like there's a part you're like, oh my gosh, no way. It's really good. So I played through Sith Lords. I got like 40 hours in. Damn saves. Like I just loaded it up. Steam corrupted every single one. I could not figure it out. So I was looking online to see if I could like get someone else's save file, but all I could find were ones that were 100% complete and just you were like maxed out and you could just roam around. But I'm like, no, but I don't want to play 40 hours again just to get back to it. So
yeah,
maybe if there's a HD like redone version, I might jump back into it, play it. But
another game I wondered, because I hadn't played it in so long, I was wondering if it was nostalgia that was making me love it so much. Eternal Darkness for the GameCube. I don't know, I guess it's just the mechanic of it all and just the way they tell the story. But when Joel was actually in town, we were supposed to be working on the film.
Your Petra and money hard at work. Or not Petra, Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. How many hours do we put in?
Dude, we over the weekend, I think we put 9.5 hours. Like
we sat and played the game. It's not. It's just it really, to me, it stood the test of time. Even though it was antiquated controls and it wasn't fully 3D. It was like
It kind of it does what the Silent Hills game is doing now. It definitely what that game is doing is just messing with your mind, like using the controller, using like random glitches, like the save files would corrupt, and James got a kick out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just died, and it was like, nope, it was just like a little glitch, and you'd be like, right, like every time I got freaked out, it's like, come on, I just never saw it coming. So it was fun. It was just hilarious.
All right, and with that, we're gonna move on from our main topic to the news. First news item. Star Citizen is going to natively support 8K resolution. So obviously it'll support 4K, but it'll natively support 8K resolutions, and it will have up to 16K textures.
And all the video cards cried.
Yeah.
All of them, because you need 7 of them.
Now, if you remember
whole
that,
family.
The LucasArts render farm.
If you remember that, that article we read a couple weeks ago about 15 reasons Star Citizen should come to the consoles, which was mostly a load of baloney. This is exactly why not. 16K textures. Do you want to pop in 4 Blu-ray discs to play this game? Like,
yes.
It already takes like 50 gigs to install, some PS4 games. Like, think how disgusting. And that's mostly textures. That's what that is.
And
it's
audio.
not like... Yeah, in audio, but like it's not like more polygons aren't really taking up that much more space. No. But it's the texture stuff, so that's really cool. Although the article, there's a bunch of articles that corroborate this information, but the article I happened to read it on was from WCCF Tech, which is just laughable. Listen to this guy. Needless to say, pretty much the fate of the entire PC industry hangs in the balance with Star Citizen, and it has everything to lose now. If Star Citizen falls, I think he means fails, it would be very difficult for the PC industry to recover and get itself taken seriously again. It's like, what?
Yeah, like, where is that coming from?
Star Citizen is all we have, guys.
If Star Citizen is a massive success, it'll sell what, 10 million copies? That'd be a massive success.
No, I don't think that game's gonna sell that much.
It's probably
gonna be a large niche.
It's probably already done 3 or 4 million just in Kickstarter backers. Of just people $60 million of Kickstarter money or backing money. I mean, that's
I wonder how much of that is other
a lot of that is people spending $300 to get Uber Elite ships before they come out. But again, so let's say they've sold almost 1 million pre-orders. I mean, I'm saying if it was a massive success, it would be maybe 10 million copies.
Exactly.
But that would be like a tiny fraction of the PC gaming industry. So it's just laughable. Like, I don't know what journalist wrote that. Well, I mean, his name is Usman Perzada. But I don't. That's stupid.
I think the only thing I will back up is that is probably one of the biggest games like that is PC. Like, you need a PC. Like, this is built for NASA level type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, PC can handle crazy stuff. Let's do it. Yeah. And that's what that's what I love PC gaming for. You know, like consoles, I like something different. I like that for convenient stuff. If I'm going to play on a PC, I want the graphics to be insane. I want it to run amazing, and I want to be able to have high-end graphics. But generally what you find the games that are on the Xbox that I'm like, okay, yay, I can have anti-aliasing on and a higher resolution and yippee. Like, it's not a insane difference that it's like, this is your PC blowing your mind. Like, that's what Half-Life 2 was when it came out. It was like, holy crap, my Nintendo can't do this. You know what I mean? Like, only
usually on the PC,
so.
it's like, it's a prettier version of this game that runs worse and has stupid DRM attached to it. Like, that's the common experience.
Here's the thing, you know, people are like, oh, PC's so much better. I'm like, well, what if your screen is only like a 720p monitor? Like, that's all you have, right? That's all
if you only have a 720p monitor.
I'm just saying, like, some people still have 1024 by 768 monitors.
That's true.
Yeah, you're getting a better experience. Not really. I'm like, you get in a square, smaller resolution, you know? It depends what you have, you know? You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, yeah, you're getting a square experience. But I'd say as of right now, there's not that many games on PC that are like, you want your mind blown, like, your computer can barely handle it. You know, this is a game that's, I think, going to do it. But, yeah, I mean, if they don't do it, I think PC is having a much harder time going, let's do only PC-centric. Because they just don't make as much, you know, I think.
Yeah,
it's you know, it's like, because you got to find that niche market, you know.
Well, no, they don't spend
$3,000 for a computer that can handle it and really do awesome stuff.
Show me a console game that made as much money as WoW. I mean, there's
okay, like those kind of games aside. I mean, that is
the monstrous successes aside. You know? It doesn't have many monstrous successes.
World of Warcraft is not graphics intensive. Okay, that could be on freaking anything.
At the time,
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
On the high settings,
it was a very different type of game, but no way. I remember literally the day it came out, a friend of mine had the beta of it. He was in the pre-release like beta, and he was playing it on his computer. No, and I remember going, this looks so dumb. Like, this looks really bad. Like, because Half-Life 2 was just getting ready to come out because it came out with
different art styles, but it was very good for its art style. Yeah,
I understand. The same with DayZ. DayZ's not a graphics mind-blowing game, but the scope of it is much different than another game. You know, you can render one room at 12K resolution. It looks amazing, but that's all you can do, you know?
Right.
So I would love to see, you know, PC developers just going, we're making a PC exclusive game and it's gonna rock your socks off. Like, you need 18 gigs of RAM, something insane. Like, I would buy that because I'm like, I want to see this experience.
The Crisis experience.
Yeah. I didn't get to play that game for 4 years. I pre-ordered it. I was like, sweet, I can't wait to play it. It couldn't even run at 480, like nothing. It couldn't do anything.
The graphics go that low? You tried at 640 by 480?
Oh yeah. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Nice.
So I had to wait for an entire next PC upgrade to play it. It sucked.
Cool. All right, our next news item is The Division. Whose news item is this?
That's me.
All right, take it away, Dave.
Massive and Ubisoft are saying there will be no parity between the PC version and the next-gen consoles. I mean, this is a thing that we hear pretty commonly, that the PC version is going to be its own build, it's going to have its own features, and that there won't be any parity, there won't be any downgrading for the PC version of The Division.
It's Ubisoft. Let's just wait.
It is Ubisoft, but it's also massive. So I'm very just divided.
Oh.
That was a very sexual "oh" there, Jeremiah.
No, stop. It's good to hear. Let's see if that's actually true.
Which is true of pretty much everything Ubisoft says.
Hopefully they can learn from just like past mistakes with Watch Dogs and things like that. They go in, all right, guys, let's just do it. Like,
guys, let's just make this one not suck. Let's just try this game. This game, like, something new. It won't suck. How about that?
Well, I mean, okay, Watch Dogs didn't suck. It was a great game. I loved the crap out of it. Yeah. Like, I was really surprised, right? The thing that I do really find frustrating is I don't understand. Like, with people, just be honest with people. Like, people can see through bull crap. I've been reading this like film distribution book, really good, by like a really profound like distributor, and the guy's been in business for like 35-40 years. He knows everything, and it's interesting. He said, you know, like learning, it's like how to sell stuff. It's like people can tell BS right away, and it surprises me you have so many people still trying to BS around things. It's like, just tell people. Like, I'm not offended if someone says, "Oh, hey, you know, the PC version's gonna have better graphics." No, duh. My PS4 can't upgrade video cards. Like, people know that. Like, I don't know.
Most people know that.
I feel like, honestly, like if you just said, "Hey, you know, we picked this resolution. It runs really good. The PC is going to be supported better. You know, blah, with such and such. You know, or they're all going to have the same kind of content. Would you want to have higher res and you have these textures? Go for it. We have it." Just, I don't know. I feel like people just need to be honest, and people are going to accept it a lot better. But people are getting really sick of the BS.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Next news item: Fallout. Who's this?
This is both James and Joel. I've heard it from both of them over the past 2 days.
All right. I feel like everyone else has had a news item. James ought to do this one because I feel like he's going to hurt the most.
Go ahead, finish the story, Dave. Go ahead.
I just want to say before James explains what happened, I just want to point out that I was the one to crush James's hopes and dreams today.
It was you, because James sent me the text message.
It was
too.
me.
Oh, no. I sent it to you. No one actually sent it to me. I found it, and I was like,
who was text message?
Way.
Go for it, James.
So apparently somebody found one of the NeoGAF forums found a trademark or a patent filing in the German office for Fallout Shadow of Boston, which you already knew that Fallout was possibly going to be based out of Boston, based on other rumors. And so IGN ran with it today as one of their front page stories, right in this smack in the middle of their banner. And not only that, they ran another story. Dave, I don't know if I sent you this about
you did,
the Fallout Ultimate Collection. I'm guessing that's also.
They haven't clarified that that's fake yet from Bethesda, because Bethesda tweeted out officially saying the such and such Shadow of Boston is fake. But who knows? Maybe that is, because I was like, oh man, the VGA awards are coming out. That's how they announced Fallout 3. That's how they announced Skyrim. God, maybe we'll get something.
When is that?
It's usually like, I think, late November or December.
I think it's December.
Come on.
They're cheesy events, but they every once in a while he shows it off because they don't need to reveal it at E3. They usually show the gameplay at E3, but the little CGI trailer is like, this is coming. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Ultra. I was excited when I sent that story to you.
So it's just a total hoax?
Yeah, it was another hoax.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I mean, it wasn't super elaborate, but the fact that someone goes to the trouble of attempting to file a patent that's, I don't know.
I still think the previous Fallout 4 hoax was more impressive. I mean, filing a patent is pretty good, but the one guy had like a name, a website, a branding, a Twitter account, and like hyped the website. It went live with like daily releases of teaser stuff. And after like a week, he's finally like, sorry guys, it was just like a fun side thing. I want Fallout 4, so I made it all up. And dude, the amount of hate and fallout over the situation.
Dead.
It wouldn't surprise me. I think James probably killed him with his bare hands.
Yeah, dude. You know
they're clean though. My hands are clean.
You know what rumors we haven't heard from for a while is anything of Half-Life. You know,
no, really?
Yeah.
You don't say, Joel. Joel's like, guys, you know what we haven't heard about in a while? Half-Life 3.
Like,
you think they would have said something about it?
Come on, for a while, I think like it was like 6 or 7 months ago, there was like things rumor mill was running. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, the rumor mill runs about everything.
2 things we were talking about nonstop in December 2012: the DayZ Alpha and Half-Life 3 rumors.
All right, it's now time.
So yeah, it was a bad day. Thanks, Dave.
I was just trying to move us on, like rip the Band-Aid off and keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just say, next time, Dave, this happens, just don't even tell us. Don't, like...
Give us a few days.
Yeah, give us a few days of happiness.
Just pretend like it's going to happen.
Honestly, just don't tell me. Like, I would rather just be like, oh, okay, it was fake. But rather than like, hey, guys, it's fake. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I was like, this is the best day ever. We're getting both the new Fallout going to be announced.
I know.
And possibly, a collection with, maybe some remakes.
you buy it again so many times. For full
Dave,
price.
would you not buy a remastered version of it if it was upgraded?
Oh, I'd buy it hard.
VR support.
All right.
And a little teaser at the end. The little prelude, like precursor to Fallout 4. Come on.
Sold.
It's now time for the Potato Patch, the part of the podcast where we talk about what's going on in the big old world of console gaming. And this is actually...
time for farming.
All right. So this is actually one of the first Potato Patch items that's not making fun of consoles. I am super pumped for this. Grand Theft Auto 5 is getting a first-person mode. And when I first heard that, I was like, okay, never going to use that. Because most first-person modes that are hacked on, or third-person modes that are hacked on, suck. But then the trailer came out. Have you guys all seen the trailer?
It looks so good.
It looks like Far Cry, like Los Angeles, basically.
Yeah. Dude, it's going to be amazing.
The shots of the sport bike zipping through the rain, like at night, I'm just thinking 100 inches. Ooh, this is going to look nice. At 1080p. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I was already going to buy it day one. I'm definitely buying this game.
You're definitely going to buy it twice over now? Like,
buy it twice on day one.
I'm probably going to get the Amazon thing where it delivers it to my doorstep on the day it comes out. I won't be able to play it for 3 days or something probably because I'm too busy. But
you're like making bacon and eggs.
You'll make time. Rooms. You'll make time. Don't even kid yourself.
Yeah, so the first-person mode, like you can adjust your head bob. They've modeled interiors to the cars with working gauges and radios. They've got like new animations, it looks like, for first-person mechanics. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
There's new first-person animations for entering vehicles too.
You guys are probably not gonna care about this, but they're adding like the phone calls you get and stuff will come through controller. Some other stuff happen. I forget. They got some really cool, unique ways they're using.
Wait, so like on the speaker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so you get like
that's a good use of the speaker. Yeah,
that'll sound like a cell phone quality.
Yeah,
and you can use the touchpad as well to switch between weapons, so you can quickly scroll and stuff.
That's pretty good.
That makes sense. But in Infamous, when it would like play random like impact sounds and like little sound effects to the controller, it sounded like it was coming through like a cell phone from 2002. It sounded awful. I hated that so much.
And as Lanky Soldier mentions in chat, still no mention of heists.
You're crazy. We never said heist.
All we can hope is that they're coming out with a DLC that's like a zombie apocalyptic survival.
So like Red Dead.
Oh my gosh, that we need that.
Which you've never played.
I played it. I got the whole. I got
talking to full. I knew he was talking to.
All right, it is now time for mail time.
Mail time.
You guys sent us mail after we whined about no one sending us mail. People send us mail. This first piece of mail, Traven Phallos is his gamer tag or his screen name, and he wrote into casualshenanigans@gmail.com, just like you can. Again, that's casualshenanigans@gmail.com. The subject line of this email is seal rentals. So I was like, you have my attention. Because we had the joke recently about seals being rented to be at the Norman premiere so everyone could slap it. And I was like, that's definitely not something we're going to do. So he said, "Hail, faultless leaders. I love your arguments. So sorry to have ever questioned your methods. However, on the matter of obtaining a seal, it is very possible." And he includes a URL that I did not click on. Thank you, PETA Honeypot link. Not doing that. So these are trained actors, and they don't list seals on their front page. They do list sea lions, which I'm pretty sure are more dangerous. Yes. If you do choose to go with the plussy option, you can get like a Build-A-Bear and have it quote Joelisms when you slap it. I think it's plushy.
Awesome.
There's a plushy sea lion. So maybe it's like stuffed animals. I guess I should just go ahead and open up this link. I'm just scared to.
I'm just waiting
He's
for
gonna drop out of the podcast.
Yeah,
Whoa,
just like this website.
the Watchdogs glitch.
Oh, Benet's
going
Bird
on?
and Animal Rentals has been providing professionally trained animals in Hollywood, California. Oh boy. Trained prairie dogs, trained camel, trained zebra, trained rhino, trained elephant, trained coyote.
I see a theme here.
I doubt it.
Man,
We can
I
also
really want-
provide trained butterflies, roaches, and spiders. Okay. I don't think so.
Best Halloween prank night ever.
You show me that you've trained a roach, and I will be fairly impressed. All right, so he has actual questions. How does James use an SM58 with his computer? Is there a preamp involved? I have a mic laying around and would like to get some extra use out of it. James, how are you running your SM58 in your computer that 1 week that you used
Right
it?
now, I'm not. I've got it run through a small soundboard, which is providing the phantom power, which is going into an audio capture card that does 1/4 inch MIDI, surround sound, and RCA inputs.
That's awesome, James.
And you can also buy, it's called the Blue Icicle. I used to use one. It has an XLR on one end, and it goes to a USB connection, so it turns an XLR mic into a phantom-powered USB mic, and that also works pretty well. It got uninstalled, like it would uninstall itself automatically from Windows every once in a while, but you just have to plug it back in and tell it not to install the drivers, and it would work fine. So yeah, it's not that hard. And then
I haven't tried the. God, who makes it? Just little USB boxes.
yeah.
I'm sure those work just fine.
Oh, they do. They
for
do.
that too.
Okay, and then what's a good basic hardware setup for Twitch streaming? I have a 4770K and a 750 Ti. I tried it out and it was choppy and slow. I'm guessing there's some settings and tweaks that would help, but should I aim higher with my graphics card? A 750 Ti gets Shadowplay, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he should be fine. If you're not streaming with Shadowplay, stream with Shadowplay. If it's choppy streaming with Shadowplay, I guess that's because your graphics card's getting pushed to the max on games and just can't spare anything. Well, the good news is you have a 4770K, so grab yourself a copy of OBS, Open Broadcaster. That's what I broadcast this with, and lots of people use it. And your 4770K has more than enough juice to just do like a generic monitor capture and broadcast it to Twitch. It works super easy, has tons of settings. Although if it's choppy, I would also check your internet upload speed. Go to speedtest.net. If your upload speed's only like 1 megabit a second or 3 megabit per second, that's probably why you probably need to knock your quality way down, because your internet can't handle it. But yeah, I would try Shadowplay. If that doesn't work, try OBS, Open Broadcaster, and definitely check your internet speed. So thanks again for the great show, and stay casual. Thank you. We have another bit of mail. This is from Halager, and I'm probably not saying his name correctly. He says, "Hey guys, first, thanks to Joel for mentioning the Blacklist. Didn't know about this series. Second, DayZ questions for Dave. It seems like closed servers are finally allowed by the dev team, and there are several servers popping up which you need to be whitelisted to join. This worked pretty nicely in the mod, never had any big issues with cheaters on servers like BMRF, etc. But at this point, the DayZ standalone, is it really any point to it, or is it just a gimmick? Are the server admins given enough tools to actually find the players who cheat?" Quick answer, Dave.
Quick answer is you don't have access to the BattleEye logs yet. So basically, they don't have all the tools yet. There's going to be like about once a month they're going to roll out more tools for server owners. This is just like the initial. You can ban people now or whitelist on your server.
Yeah, I think the most useful thing is you can whitelist your friends. That seems to be the best feature.
But if someone's hacking, you have to do like a little bit of work, like in game, to try to figure out which player on your server is doing the hacking. Once they give access to the logs, which should come around the end of the year, I've heard, they're trying to seal up some holes before they just like dump all these development logs for the servers out to the public. That's going to make a big difference for server owners.
Okay. And then next question. What is the major sound issues at the moment? What are they? While playing with a friend, he hardly ever hears me shooting, and if we were being shot at, usually only one of us can hear the sounds of weapons being fired. The sounds have never been 100%, but he feels like with the latest patch, it has gone downhill. So I would agree there are major issues with sound, especially on
Yes.
gunshots, which is one of those times where you want the sound to work correctly.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that gunshot? Nope.
The issues with sounds not being rendered on certain clients is due to variance in the server FPS. If your friend fires at a certain point where there's like a quick drop or a long drop in the server tick rate, it will not render the sound on your client. They are aware of the issue, and as server improvements like come along and servers get faster, it'll help some, but there's also a current sound engine rewrite going on, which should kind of get around that whole issue entirely. That's more in the future, though, around the same time as the graphics renderer. But
Cool.
they're aware of it. It's server tick rate issues is all it is.
In the meantime, you can fix it by having your friend fire multiple times.
Yes.
You'll hear one of them.
In panic, preferably.
Yeah, but if someone shoots you, that doesn't really help.
Thankfully, most of the time, actually, I say almost all the time, the sonic cracks do render.
Yeah,
It's
but
the- it's
remember
the
when
muzzle
I
sounds.
recently, a month or so ago, I got shot on top of a hospital. Me and Debbie were starving out in the middle of nowhere, or we got to Electro. I was on top of the hospital, and I just died all of a sudden, and we weren't sure if I'd been shot or not because I just died. Debbie didn't hear a shot, but my character was just doing nothing, and then he was dead all of a sudden, and there's no real way to tell, like, are we being fired on right now? Are people attacking us? Or did the game just kill me because DayZ?
Yeah, hearing the sonic
good.
crack is kind of too late.
Yeah, exactly. And the last question is, finally, why have do the servers have different graphics quality? Some look stunning, and others look like the game when it was first released on Steam. I don't quite understand that. There haven't really been any graphical updates since the game was released on Steam. Like, there's new towns and stuff, but the graphics rendering...
the renderer has definitely been tweaked since launch.
You think so?
Lighting's
Okay.
been tweaked. The weather effects, don't forget, in December, none of the weather systems were actually in-game. That was
That's
a
true.
third-party system that was added in February. So a lot of the fog stuff that we have now, the weather, the lighting, all that's been tweaked. But it shouldn't be a server-to-server difference now. I'm not sure why you're seeing that. Could be server performance causing weird rendering issues. That seems to be like the root of all evil is server tick rate.
What were you
Just-
drinking?
Just ask Battlefield.
Why do you care, Joel?
Because I care.
Think about what you
He
like.
wants to know what a macho man drinks.
Yeah.
Tonight I'm
I don't know what a big man drinks.
Bell's Special Double Cream Stout from Bell's Brewery.
Does it have any cream? Does it taste?
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
it's smooth. It's very smooth.
Does it have any?
I'm not saying like coffee cream. Shut up, God. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying when like a beer says like very stout and like tastes, I'm like
A stout
I'm
is a
just not-
type of beer.
I know that. Okay. I'm not. Okay. That was a bad example. I'm just saying. I don't know. Like they're like someone gave. What was it like? Someone gave me something had like a fruit flavor. It was like a berry something. I was like, oh yeah, sweet. It is. I'm like, you can't taste any of it. I mean, it's so light, barely there.
Here's
I'm
the
like,
thing is you
why
can't-
is it always so light?
You haven't developed a taste for it. When I first had a Sierra Nevada Torpedo, I thought, this is the most bitter thing I've ever put in my mouth. This is disgusting. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, there's all these different citrusy flavors, and like there's like an awesome aftertaste. It's an acquired taste. It really is.
I don't know.
It's okay.
I've tried many times.
You don't,
Maybe I'm just
you
not
don't
like-
have to acquire the taste. I'm not like, and part of it might be.
What if I just never acquire the taste? What if I keep trying and never like it?
Then don't stop trying it,
Yeah,
man. If you don't like it, quit. I don't-
Yeah, there we go. Fruity notes. There you go. Like, oh, fruity notes. I'm like drinking. I'm like,
we know what
there's
you've
no-
acquired
there's no-
the taste for.
I guess so.
Wine
I guess
coolers.
so.
Sugar with a little bit of alcohol.
I guess I don't know. I also don't get like crazy abstract arts. Like you haven't acquired the taste for a pile of nails glued together. And like I just haven't.
Well, you just
acquired
don't.
the
You
taste
don't
for that
understand.
yet.
You just don't understand art, Joel.
Did you guys hear
obviously.
about the thing with abstract art during the Cold War and the CIA?
This sounds like
No.
an oddly specific story that, of course, we haven't heard.
This is fantastic. So it turns out there were a lot of rumors during the Cold War that the government was encouraging and like even backing certain like experimental artists that were doing just crazy off the wall stuff, like Joel said, like piles of nails and like, oh, here's my painting where I flung
This sounds
paint.
like it's going to be a Fox News story.
It's a conspiracy that turned out to be true. There was a government program that believed that the abstract artwork that people were creating during the Cold War was a good example of just American freedom. Like, you know, we have complete freedom to do all this just stupid stuff with artwork. And it turns out there actually was a government program that was promoting abstract art to fight communism. So how awesome is that? I'm not sure how well
CIA
it worked, but
doing weird
That was
stuff.
a little less exciting than I thought it was going to be. I thought
Making
they were gonna
abstract
have, like,
art, introducing crack
coding
to
messages
America.
or something.
Don't doubt the
It's-
CIA.
oh, and they use abstract art nail posters to kill agents.
Okay, that
There you go,
works.
James.
Thank you.
And last thing he says is,
Satisfied.
keep up the good work and force James and Joel to sit closer to the mics to get the full potential of their manly voices.
Look, my
Okay,
mic
sorry about that.
is that far away. I'm just saying, it's like, look,
Look how close
It's
mine
right there.
is.
It would sound better.
So I mean-
Except that it's pointing at your
Would you like
stomach.
me to talk right here?
yeah, that actually sounds pretty good.
Look, I mean, I guess so, but I just like, I want to see the screen.
That sounds
I'm
really
looking
good,
through
actually.
cables.
Joel, don't move. Don't you move.
How do I sound, gentlemen?
Kind of bassy, actually, at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm gonna,
Actually, that right there was really good. Try it now.
how's it going, gentlemen?
It sounds really nice. You should
Okay.
totally leave it there.
Does it sound creamy?
It sounds very stout.
Has
Like the cream in his beard.
It has sexy notes to it.
the cream in my beard?
yeah, I definitely use a
Beer,
fruity notes.
beer.
Beard. Oh my gosh.
Cream in your beard.
the cream in my beard.
Well, that's the sweet
What's
spot.
that?
That's what they're calling it these days. That's the name of Joel's
Cream always
next.
rises to the top, Joel.
That's the name of Joel's next movie.
I've got the low.
Cream in my beard.
I've got the low.
All right, that's yep.
All right, last mail item from Cody. Hello, guys. Keep up the awesome work. Y'all are my favorite podcast. Thanks, Cody. I'll try to keep the question brief. Also, if you need any recommendations on better podcasts, let me know. My wife will soon be in need of a laptop for college. I've been looking for a computer also. I've heard from you guys not to buy a gaming laptop. My problem is this. I don't have a lot of extra real estate in my house for a computer desk or table with a desktop, although I believe I could make it work. A laptop for both our purposes would be slightly better. I'd be completely fine with a mid-range computer. I'd be fine with medium to medium-high settings with a good frame rate. I'm willing to spend as high as $1,000 to $1,200, but if possible, I'd like to go a little bit lower in the $600 to $800 range. Would it be better to build a PC for the house and purchase a separate laptop for my wife with a maximum $1,200 budget for both? Or would it be better to buy like a laptop that can do it all? If you need any other information, email me back. Thanks again. Keep up the great podcast. Slap a seal. So here's what I'm thinking with this. What we don't know, and it's my fault because I forgot to ask, does this laptop need to be thin and light? Because like you're going to get a lot more for your money if you buy one $1,200 or $1,000 computer than if you try to build two computers for that much money. Unless you get your wife like a $300 lightly used Ultrabook or something. Like I don't know what she needs for class, but if you go on eBay, look at like used Lenovo ThinkPads. If you got a lightly used one of those for like $300, which is totally doable for one in great condition, that's an awesome computer to like tote around in your backpack. Very tough, very rugged. You can get ones that are thin, and that would leave you with like $600 to $800 to build a desktop if you max your budget out. And you could build a half decent desktop for that much money. But if
Yeah, I was actually going to recommend a Lenovo
yeah,
laptop if you get one.
if I was
And would
buying
say,
a used one, I would buy a Lenovo like every time.
And I was going to say, I was like, I think when buying a laptop, don't plan on going, can I upgrade anything on the laptop? Just go decently sized, and that's it. I mean, like you can upgrade, but the amount of cost to do it most of the time is not really that much worth it.
Yeah.
On laptops. these
Another
days.
Also,
decent
you
traveling laptop, if you got like a 2008, 2009 MacBook, like one of the plastic MacBooks, those are going to be pretty decent quality.
Go on Mac of all trades. You can get refurbished ones. I've gotten many of them there. You can get them for like $500, really good deals. And then still, like a couple years down the road, you'll still be able to sell it for about $500.
Mac of all trades, you said it's called?
Mac of all trades is a really good site. I've
Go
gotten
in there
many
now.
laptops from there. But they have iMacs, they have MacBook Airs and stuff like that. Really, really good prices.
What I recommend is
So-
going to somewhere like Office Depot or something, and every once in a while you can find a really, really good deal on their clearance. Like they usually have like the board.
Yeah,
and
that's
they're usually
true.
like a couple $100 off. Also, recently I've noticed that Walmart doesn't check. They don't reprice their clearance laptops in their cages. So you might be able to find something
Ooh,
that's
okay.
a couple years old.
Wow, Joel, this is a really good site. Here's a mid 2009 13-inch MacBook. So this is one of the white plastic ones with a Core 2 Duo, 13-inch screen, 2 gigs of RAM, 160 gig hard drive for $250.
Yeah, like
That's
that's
pretty
the
good.
one my wife has actually. Is it the white one?
Yeah, and they have a 2007 for $150, 1 gig of memory, 2 gigahertz
I'd probably get the 2009 one only because hers can still handle the new OS that just came out.
Yeah.
And it runs actually really well. It works better than the 2012 iMacs I have at work. Like, for some reason, they just bog down, but hers just works great.
You know what I would do? I would still get I'd get the oldest one that can take at least OS X Mavericks, maybe.
Yeah.
And you can do the same thing with Lenovo. You know, buy a slightly older one and then get one of those crazy cheap deals on an SSD. Grab like an 120 gig SSD for $60, install it, and like it'll be super fast for the money. And that's just like an easy laptop to tote around. Store everything in Google Drive or Dropbox for super cheap. That's like the perfect school computer. And then spend some money on a gaming desktop. And if you do a gaming desktop, I would recommend buying some used stuff off eBay. If you're cool buying stuff used, get you like a GTX 580 and an i5 2500K. You could build like an actually pretty awesome gaming computer. And if you want, let me know. I will put together a build, like an eBay special build for you. Let me know if you need like a monitor and keyboard, mouse. Like if you don't have any of that, obviously it'll be a little more expensive. But I definitely think you could do a cheap cheap laptop and then a decent desktop. Get a laptop that just does whatever she needs. Note-taking, light web browsing, nothing that can do super heavy lifting. For the heavy lifting, you'll have your home computer. And let's build you a slightly nicer home computer. And I mean, honestly, that's a pretty good way to do it. And for $250, you could get like a 2009 MacBook, or you could easily get a Lenovo ThinkPad for the same money. And either of them will be able to run modern versions of their operating systems. Get a cheap SSD in there. You're out the door for like $300. You can do it. Let us know if that sounds good to you, and we can give you some recommendations. Now, just to give him a backup, if he was just going to get one laptop to do both of them, Dave, I don't know if you would recommend. I think I would recommend Sager. Just get whatever Sager laptop fits your budget. They are not going to be the thinnest, not going to be the lightest. They're going to be some of the least offensive gaming laptops, because gaming laptops are like hideous plastic disgustingness most of the time. But yeah, Sager, like, they look like ThinkPads. They're boring, black, utilitarian-looking computers, and they're pretty decently fast, but they're not the lightest. You're looking at probably 6 pounds, inch and a quarter to inch and a half thick. So that's probably more up to your wife and what she wants to tote around with her. But, you know, a 13-inch MacBook or a 13-inch ThinkPad would be pretty light. Also, if she just wants to do minor note-taking, if she has small hands, I bet you can get a netbook for pretty cheap these days. Because like netbooks were all the rage for like a year until people realized they were super slow. But seriously, you could like, that'll take notes. I mean, you can do more with those than you'd think if you're patient. I had an original Lenovo netbook with a 1.6 gigahertz Atom processor and 1.5 gigs of RAM. I upgraded it to 1.5 gigs. And once in a really boring art class, like we were listening to a lecture, I opened up a 3 gigabyte Photoshop file to do some editing for a class I had coming up, and it was not fast. It was very slow, and the screen was like 1280 by 800. It sucked, but I made it work.
You can also get a MacBook Air, like the 11-inch one too. I mean, it depends on what she wants to do, but that thing runs really, really well. It's actually pretty surprising how well it runs.
Well, I wouldn't get that one because it only takes a 1.8-inch hard drive. You can't upgrade it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if she doesn't do much other than documents and things like that.
But even the 11-inch,
I have 120 on my MacBook Air, and I don't have anything on it. I don't like
the 11-inch model, like the old MacBook Air, is still $700 used. So I think it's not old enough for it to be a really good option, I don't think.
Well, I mean, he was even thinking about getting a gaming one, but then decided against it. So if he's thinking about getting a gaming, that's really expensive. So that'd be way cheaper than a gaming.
Well, laptop. But this would be one laptop that would be powerful enough to game and for school. If he gets a MacBook Air for $700, he can't game on a MacBook Air.
Yeah, you're not going to game on it. But I'm saying if you want a laptop that's going to last a long time, not slow down. Yeah, MacBook Air is a great. Well, laptop.
It's not going to slow down if you keep it clean. That's more up to how you use it, and an SSD will go a long way towards that.
Can he legitimately do a gaming laptop for that budget?
For $800, it's not going to be super awesome, but for medium settings it would work. But for $1,000, $1,200, oh yeah, you can get a pretty good gaming laptop.
What kind of graphics are you looking at?
I have not looked in a little while. Let's check them out. Hold on, I'm going to bring that up. Dave, vamp for a minute.
ARMA things editor.
Joel, all right, Joel, do not
Textures.
It's now time for 90 Seconds with Joel, a part of the podcast, where Joel talks about whatever he wants for 90 seconds while Jeremiah does research.
Okay. Are you going to do the one from last week?
No, I'm not in the mood to talk about that serious.
Well, could you read it then?
No, we read it last.
We read it last time. I know, but I want to hear Joel. I want to hear Joel read it in Joel voice
again.
All right, here, let me Control Z. There we go. Okay, I wrote this down quick because it was on my iPhone as we were at the conference. Okay. At the conference, I was just typing it down. I wasn't trying to be correct, but I'll just read it as is because you guys like to make me sound like a retard. Technology is outgrowing ourselves. Overwhelming. Third world countries are overtaking first world with technology. 4K screen sizes for websites are about 10 megabytes for one screen. Way too massive for sites.
Thank you.
I think that was pretty decent notes for me to know what I was talking about.
I understand what you're saying. Like you know what you're saying. You just have to be able to interpret it later.
But I don't even want to talk about it because I'm just not in the mood to talk about the serious stuff right now.
You're not in the mood for the seriousness.
My brother's bachelor's party is tomorrow, and we're just going out to dinner. But I kind of want to. Okay, you know the game that I came up with the other night, but I want to come up with something.
Oh my gosh, you should totally play that game again.
I think the group that we're playing with, they're not going to get it as much as you guys got it. I want to do something kind of similar.
Nice. We'll play along just to be nice.
No, I mean you guys have, I think, that sense of humor.
This is like a super stupid game.
My brother's different. He is very different than me. So, but I do think I kind of want to come up with something similar like that. But I didn't know if you guys had any ideas. I was thinking I still got a whole bunch of index cards. I was like, it'd be kind of fun to. Okay, here's one thing my brother asked. He said he wants us to roast him tomorrow night. And so I was thinking
bring
about
a bunch of barbecue sauce and like a loincloth to put on him and be like, wait, what are we talking about? A bunch of charcoal.
Well, I was thinking maybe I could write down on the cards, like, you know, everyone picks them and everyone has 3 cards, but one of the cards, like, it tells you what you have to do. Like maybe it's one, like, say something like you have to talk something really bad about like a bad story about Jonah, or I don't know, or make fun of him, or like you just say, I don't know. I was trying to think of some ideas to kind of make it fun. There's really no plans, but I don't know.
Joel, please tell me you're going to tell him that you're going to give that one little tidbit information when Jonah was growing up.
I'm saving that for the wedding.
Wait, can I hear it? I'm not going to be at the wedding. I've not been invited to the wedding.
I have a speech ready, okay? I've got a really good one. I've been kind of preparing it because, you know, like,
are you the best man?
I hate crappy. No, I'm not.
You're just going to randomly give a speech.
Yeah, I'm going to go up there and take a hold of the mic. Like, you can do that at weddings. It's like, hey, I'm Jonah's brother. I want to say something, and they can't say no to that.
Right.
Like, you know,
legally they can't.
So I've got some really good things to say. I've got some good.
Please tell them when the podcast is over, at least.
Yeah, I'll share when the podcast is over, but yeah.
Cool.
But if you guys have any ideas, let me know. If you like, I'm
all right, everyone, throw into
tomorrow.
chat your best ideas, or tweet at Casual Shenanigans, or write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com. Quickly, I will forward them to Joel. Your best realistic ideas for a bachelor party, not like get a plane, fly to Paris, like actual.
Because one of my ideas, maybe you guys think this is dumb, but I think it'd be kind of funny. I wanted to write on one, like the worst possible string of swear words at Jonah. You get, like, if you get the card, you have to say it to him, and it's just like, and he like, I like doing things where, like, just because there's gonna be some people there that are like really awkward. And I would love for them to get that card and have to say it.
Like your pastor.
Oh, dude, my uncle, he would totally do it. No questions asked. He's awesome. He knows a good sarcastic jokes when he sees it.
All right, so we're back to now. Thank you, Joel, for 90 seconds with Joel.
Ish.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm surprised we don't make that sexual every week. 90 seconds with Joel. Bow, bow, bow. Doom. All right, anyway.
You know, Sega the Star Wars soundtrack.
For $842, you can get a Sega NP4658. Catchy name, guys. It has a 15-inch 1080p display, a Core i7 4710 Haswell processor, 750 gig hard drive, GT840M graphics card, 8 gigs of memory, all the other things you would normally expect. So for $800
ports.
For $800, that's not bad. Now if you step up to the Sega NP8278 for about $1,182, it comes with a 17-inch 1080 screen. Your wife is not going to want to carry that around. but there's tons of different Segers. I'm just giving you an idea of what you can get in your range. It has the same i7-4710 processor. It has a 1 terabyte hard drive. It has a GTX 870M graphics card, which is pretty good, and 8 gigs of memory. So that actually would be great for gaming. You can definitely get a laptop that will do both. It's just up to you and your wife to see what she wants to carry around all the time. But it's possible. Whatever you dream, you can achieve. And with that,
as far as challenges go, you can make him a $400 PS4. Essentially.
Right? You mean like specs wise? No, dude, if you go on eBay, like you can get, if you're cool getting slightly older gen stuff, it will still game pretty good.
I don't get my PS4 on eBay.
But yeah, just let us know, man, and we'll help you do a little shopping. Whichever way you want to go, we'll help you shop a little more. But that's the podcast this week, guys. You can write in to casualshenanigans@gmail.com. You can tweet at casualshenanigan, at Germ Gaming, at Evil Viking. You can follow us on YouTube. And lastly, the most important part of the podcast, graphics card updates. Now, Dave, do you have a confession to make?
I do. I like nice things. I like a lot of nice things. I'm also extremely cheap. So on Saturday, both Jeremiah and I found a good deal.
Oh man, you ruined it. I just want you to talk about your shame, then I could go. Ooh.
On Saturday, Jeremiah and I found a really good deal on GTX 970s. Both me and Jeremiah bought one. However, one of us was too cheap to pay the extra $6 for 3-day shipping. One of us now has their card. The other one of us.
Look how fast it is.
The other one of us.
It's a good thing he paid for that extra shipping.
The other one of us
so he could have it on his desk.
The other one of us will be getting their card next Wednesday.
It just got here today, James.
Oh, man.
What am I supposed to do with it? Maybe before we play ARMA tonight, I'm going to just go ahead and install it just so I can talk about how quiet it is. And I can play ARMA not in a sauna this week.
No.
And speaking of which, of shipped hardware, you know what comes in tomorrow, guys?
Oh, really?
Jeremiah?
Yeah, it's Oculus Rift.
It's Oculus Rift time. Sweet.
I know, but it's my brother's bachelor's party. It's gonna, I'm going to get home. Like,
send it with Dave when he comes to visit, this weekend.
I'm there in spirit.
You know what? I feel like I need to charge you guys for using it because you guys are going to use it for YouTube, just whoring out YouTube views.
No.
Like, hey guys, I'm Dave. I'm playing a game on you.
I'm not.
Totally. Like, I'm totally doing it.
I just want to come to your house and see it.
Yeah,
when the consumer one comes out, I'll probably get one. Yeah, that's the podcast. Anyone have anything else to chip in before we leave?
No.
Yes.
I was gonna say, well, can I do a tiny little Norman update?
Sure, tiny little Norman update.
I finished spotting through the music with Daniel. I need to ask him how to pronounce his last name because it's a hard last name to pronounce.
Smith.
But yeah, Daniel Smith, and it was awesome. We finished yesterday, I guess. Yeah, no, Monday.
And can you explain what spotting
but today,
the music is?
he sent me a link today. He was streaming as he was working, but he's working with a real celloist, or I guess cellist, however you call it.
Cellist, I think.
But it was really awesome. Just he's an awesome guy. Like, he really knows what he's doing. He's like, honestly, he reminds me of that guy from A Beautiful Mind. Like, that's the way he thinks. Like, he's just like,
that's high praise.
I mean, he is like the way he thinks. Like, he's just like, it's really cool.
So forehead.
Yeah, yeah, like, or it's the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, like touches his chin before he eats. No, but they were just working through ideas and stuff, and this guy is just amazing. It was just fun just seeing him work, and so that's exciting.
Cool.
So we're really excited about that.
All right. Anyone have anything else? Next week, the podcast should be back to its normal Thursday schedule. I'm sorry, as I said before, it is 100% my fault.
Again.
That it's been... Yeah... Go on.
No. I dug the knife in a little bit. Please continue.
That's it. That's all I had to say. It'll be back to its normal schedule next week. And thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for donating to Patreon. Now that we all have good mics, we're going to have to come up with something else to spend the money on. Maybe a streaming PC for Jeremiah so we can do the podcast in something other than 15 FPS. Although it's pretty much V-synced at 15, so I guess there's something there. But
I know what we need to do with that. I think it would be worth it. I'd be okay with pitching money towards it. I think we should give you exactly $400, and you have to see if you can create a PC that really can run games just as good as a PS4 for $400.
Or we could buy Dave a PS4.
Oh,
yeah, but this PC will actually get used. Now, does that mean I can do anything? I can do anything it takes to get, like, not like kill people, but I mean,
no. You have to buy it, like, buy things legitimately.
But like, no, but I can look for really good deals. I can game because you know that's what Sony did. Deals. When Sony was sourcing parts for this, you know they were doing it.
I would honestly like to see a $400 PC and see how the games work. Like,
well, how would you compare it to a PS4?
Saying, right?
What would be your benchmark?
And like use the same, go with the same 1080p. Try to find the same resolutions. Like, okay, so if Modern Warfare, right, or Advanced Warfare, I gotta get used to that. So like, boot that sucker up, play it at 1080p, see if it stays VSynced at 60. Things like that.
Like 60 FPS on the PS4? Yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm. No, it's not.
It's 60 FPS. Yeah, it is.
1080p.
I'm playing it. Yeah, it's 1080p at 60
FPS. Hold on.
I feel like there's a digital foundry.
The Xbox One is 900p.
Yeah, it's not even upscaled. That's seriously impressive.
No. Yeah, I mean the one on 360 is 720p. It plays at 60 FPS.
Right.
All Modern Warfare games are 60 FPS. Like,
hold on, Joel. Hold on. Hold your horses.
The Oracle is consulting. Yeah. So Debbie was saying in chat, maybe we should do that. This could be the streaming PC, and it could be the server. We could host, like, everything could be hosted on that. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
That's
now a question: can I use any old gear I have laying around, or do I have to buy all different parts?
No, you have to buy it. But
I've got
thing.
Can I just look up the average used price of some of my parts and reuse them just because I already have them, just to save money for I will count towards the total, but just to save the subscribers money.
Yeah, I mean, like, the idea is about can you make a PC that's can play. I have my PS3's
hard drive. I could pop in there, the 80 gig.
No, you got to buy it. You can't.
No, but I'll just look up how much would it cost to buy this. I'll add that to the total, and then I'll just use the part.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that works.
Can I donate my graphics card and just get the money?
I want a better one than that. So
yeah, that one's not good. That's not good. Your graphics card is worse than the PS4 graphics card, James.
Well, I don't know.
It's probably not.
It's probably not.
I can run most games at high and ultra still.
What?
Seriously.
And what
I'm only running 1080p.
I'm running 1080p.
But you guys never run 1080p. You guys always go up to 4K and
my monitor is 1080p.
I know, but you
in ARMA I run 1440p and in DayZ I run 1440p. But anyway, no, this is totally happening, guys. Okay, so Patreon money's not getting spent on anything else for a month or so.
We'll talk about this after the podcast.
Yeah, we'll debate this. And Joel, for the record, what Call of Duty dips on PS4.
So does ARMA 3 dips.
No, but it doesn't. It doesn't dip on the other ones.
They're gonna fix that.
So we don't have
same
to say
thing with
VSynced then. Then VSynced is not necessary.
No, it'll be patched like within a week. Like, that's what happened.
I strongly doubt that.
No, they're saying that for them to get to 1080p, they had to sacrifice frames.
No, I read the thing on the Eurogamer, and it's more of a graphics. The Xbox One is holding 60 way better than PS4 right now.
All right,
no, that's not what I'm hearing either. But that's okay.
Well,
bye guys. What if we ended without?
No.
What if we just ended like
people need closure? We just argue and then just the stream slowly fades out.
Yeah, what if that happened?
At each other? Nah.
Like we're like in the middle of talking.
Well, there was the one time where we ended the stream and then Joel kept saying stupid things and Debbie was fussing at him and we brought the stream back.
That was amazing. That was so worth coming back for.
It was.
We're coming back in with more.
It was great because it was Debbie's first time on the podcast and she was like, "I've been silent most of the time, but Joel, you're being an idiot."
Yeah. Look, performance analysis, Eurogamer, they just updated. It says the PS4 has a little bit of trouble staying. It dips a little bit. Like the lowest it dips is like 40. Yeah, lowest it dips is like 480, but that's usually 48 frames, but that's usually on the kill cam for some reason. And so they think it's on. It's just gonna be something like a patch.
Where did it? Can you link that? Because where does it say?
The Digital Foundry. I like Digital Foundry.
We will look at that later. We're wrapping it down.
We haven't argued with Joel. We missed a week.
No. We're all friends. Let's end as friends. With that, everybody. I will
not be friends with Joel unless we argue.
With that, Joel, even while arguing, what should people do?
Slap a... I don't know. I was trying to say slap a seal, you stupid homeless people. But just to be like...
All right.
I'm that level in Call of Duty that's like, oh my gosh, they killed someone.
And you thought my idea of just dropping out in the middle of us talking was bad?
I love that idea. It's just
Joel,
like that
you had
episode
two
in
words,
Sunny where
you
they
had
just
two
scream
words
and it
to
just
say. You had 2 words to say.
stay casual.